So how exactly do I get access to these complimentary lounges, free foods, free hotel upgrades, faster security screening? Well, it's all thanks to this right here. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you know me, you know that I've been doing a lot of traveling these past few months, from going to Seattle, LA, Cabo, New York, and still actually have some more upcoming travel. But the way that I've been traveling these past few months have been radically different from anything that I have ever experienced or imagined that I would experience as I've been traveling. Now, I've been, of course, sharing some of these experiences on these travel vlogs, along with on my Instagram. While I've come to appreciate a lot of these perks and benefits while I've been traveling, it sort of dawned on me that maybe other people also want to experience them but may not know how to get access to them in the same way that I have. After all, I always used to assume that you'd have to be flying business or first class and paying a huge premium, or be a frequent traveler where you're building status with airlines. Things that I never really thought that I would be able to do. So once I figured out ways to get access to these lounges and so much more travel benefits and perks, it's just been really earth-shattering for me and changed the way that I travel now. So how exactly do I get access to these complimentary lounges, free foods, free hotel upgrades, faster security screening? Well, it's all thanks to this right here. This is the American Express Platinum credit card, and this is known as one of the top tier travel credit cards right now in the industry. Today, I'm going to be breaking down all of the benefits and perks that you get at credits, the amazing sign-up offers that are going on right now, and most of all, how you can make sure to justify whether this card is right for you. Because I will say up front that right now, this card has an annual fee of $695, which is probably the highest out of any credit card that you can apply to right now. So for most people, it is not going to make sense to get this card at all. But for me, the benefits, perks, and the expected value of this card far outweighs the annual fee that I'm paying. And hopefully by the end of this video, you can also understand whether that applies to you and whether you should be getting the card yourself. Now, I do expect this to be a pretty long video because there's just so much to cover with this card, but I will leave timestamps and chapters for your convenience to figure out which information applies best to you. Now, one of the first things to cover as with any credit card is the current sign-up bonus. And I'll just say right now that there is no better time to sign up for the Amex Platinum. Due to COVID, the pandemic, and quarantine, a lot of travel has gone down for the past couple years, which means travel credit cards have really been trying to raise their offerings to be able to incentivize people to apply for their cards. And right now, the Amex Platinum is offering one of the highest sign-up bonuses it's ever offered. Just by going to its public landing page, you're going to see an offer with 100,000 points when you spend $6,000 in 6 months, along with earning 10x points on restaurants worldwide for the first 6 months. Now, in the past, these sign-up bonuses for the Platinum have usually been 60,000, maybe 75,000 points when you spend $6,000 in 3 months. Now you're getting much more points with a much more reasonable spending requirement, along with bonus earnings on additional categories. Now, if you're new to travel points, I can tell you at a minimum that those 100,000 points are worth $1,000 when used for travel, such as flights and hotels, through the Amex portal. But if you're even smarter with those points, you can get even outsized value by transferring them to airline partners and using their award bookings. For me, when I look at these points, I usually value Amex points at around 1.5 to 2 cents per point, which means that I look at the sign-up offer at around $1,500 to $2,000 worth of travel. And in fact, it can even be so much more when you're using it for business or first-class bookings. Compare that to other offers on top-tier travel cards such as the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Capital One Venture X, and you're going to see that you're getting a much better welcome offer than any other card right now. Of course, again, the higher annual fee is going to work against you, but it just goes to show that in the first year, you're going to get a lot of outsized value that more than justifies the annual fee. In fact, if you use the sign-up bonus for 100,000 points and then manage to earn an additional 25,000 points, that's actually enough points to transfer over to ANA, a partner airline that only partners with Amex, and have enough points for traveling 22,000 miles around the world in business class. This was honestly unbelievable for me when I first found out about this, and I actually called up ANA to go through the process of setting up an itinerary, and we did actually manage to find something where I was traveling across many countries through Europe, going to Turkey, Dubai, Thailand, and then back over to the US, again, all in business class. Something like that could be worth $8,000 to $10,000, if not more. So that just goes to show that if you're really smart with these points, you can get, again, a lot of outsized value. And the interesting thing is you can actually get a higher offer than just what the public landing page offers. For example, you can often find offers for 125,000 points just by applying through an incognito tab. If you want to be even more sure of getting the elevated offer while simultaneously supporting the channel and me, you can actually go ahead and look at the referral link down below that I have for the Amex Platinum, and you'll actually see the offer for 125,000 points. Again, that's enough as soon as you meet that spending requirement to immediately transfer to ANA and do this business class around the world booking. So if you are thinking about applying for the Amex Platinum, make sure to try to get an elevated offer, whether through an incognito tab or through referral links like mine below. But I will say, based on the fact that my referral link says that its offer ends on December 1st, I do expect them to lower down this high sign-up offer back down to 60,000 points, since it's been going on since the start of July. So just keep that in mind based on when you watch the video, and make sure as you're watching the video, if by the end of it you're very confident of picking up the card, I'd recommend doing so sooner than later. And it goes without saying that if you are applying for the Platinum, make sure that you can actually meet the spending requirement. There's a lot of value to be had just from sign-up bonuses on cards that you don't want to miss out on, especially because for Amex, you only get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to sign up bonuses. Now, beyond just that initial sign-up bonus, what exactly does this card offer in terms of, say, earning points? With the Amex Platinum, you're going to get 5x points for every dollar you spend on airlines when you book directly with the airline, not through Expedia or a third-party booking. And you're going to get 5x on hotels when booked through the Amex portal. And of course, you get 1x points on every other purchase that you make through the card. Now, while these multipliers are relatively high, I will say that the Amex Platinum in general is not a card that you're going to be earning a lot of points through. Really, rather than viewing this card as a point earning card, beyond the sign-up bonus, you should be looking at it as a benefits and perks card. Well, the first one and the one that you're probably most interested in is the airport lounge access that you get. Through Amex, you get access to the Global Lounge Collection. This means that you can sign up for a Priority Pass Select membership for free and have access to all of the Priority Pass lounge network across the world to be able to bring you and 2 guests anytime you travel into those lounges. Now, this in and of itself is nice, but it isn't the main appeal of this card because a lot of other travel cards, especially those with lower annual fees, also offer this membership. Really, what sets the Amex Platinum apart is that you also additionally get access to Delta Sky Club lounges when you're flying Delta and the Amex Centurion lounges. The Amex Centurion lounges are known as some of the best lounges in the industry right now, with often top tier food and drinks, something that I can definitely attest to from my time at those airport lounges. And in general, just having really nice amenities, service, and space when you're there. When you go to these lounges up to 3 hours before your flight departure, you and up to 2 guests have access to these lounges and have all of the amenities in it complimentary to you. And because the access to this lounge does require a platinum card, i.e. you can't just purchase membership into it, it often means it's a lounge that's very lucrative and sought after because it does require this card to be able to have access to it. Now, I can definitely say from the lounges that I've been to that I usually go to the Centurion lounges just because they have the best food and the best service. The Delta Sky Club lounges are also really nice whenever I'm flying Delta because they also tend to have very good food, and on top of that, you can also get access to those lounges on arrival, which means that I can often get 2 free meals as I'm traveling. I can definitely say that this has been one of the biggest perks when I'm traveling, just because this lounge access has provided a lot of convenience and luxury for me before I'm departing a flight, so that I can relax when I go to the airport early to check in, enjoy a free meal, rather than buying overpriced and really just poorly made airport food out there. In fact, some of the lounges we visited have really nice amenities like showers or an Equinox body lab, and I think some others even have some spa services. So really the biggest difference you're going to notice between this and other travel credit cards is going to be the lounge access to those Centurion lounges when you're traveling. Now, on top of this, you actually also get immediate status to the Marriott and Hilton hotel chains at the Gold Elite level. This often comes with its own set of unique perks with each hotel chain, which often include premium Wi-Fi, late checkout, and most of all, complimentary hotel upgrades. This is something that I was able to experience in my most recent trip to New York, where we booked a Courtyard by Marriott hotel, and we actually booked the cheapest room for our stay. But the day before the trip, as I was checking in on my phone, I actually noticed that we got upgraded to a different room. And I could see from looking online at the room that the price of the room was twice as expensive as the room that we had originally booked, which means we were getting over $1,000 of value. And really, we just enjoyed the stay a lot more because we had more space in our room, separate beds for each of us. So yeah, that just really amplified the experience just by having that free hotel upgrade through that status from the card. You also get complimentary status with some rental car services such as Hertz, National, and Obvious to get complimentary car upgrades whenever you're renting cars there. Now, while these statuses and lounge access perks may be really nice, it's very hard to judge whether they actually outweigh the annual fee that you're paying for the card. And that's why Amex also offers a suite of various credits through your card that, depending on your current spending habits, may actually just straight up deduct from the annual fee of the card. The first and most straightforward one is the $200 Uber Cash credit. This gives you $200 in $15 per month Uber Cash stipends, along with $35 in December. For me, I already use Uber and Uber Eats delivery services quite frequently, so I basically see the $200 Uber Cash as just straight up deduction from the annual fee because that's something that I'm already spending money on anyways. Along with this, you also get $200 of airline incidental fee credits. Now, Amex makes these credits a lot harder to use than a lot of other travel credit cards, which usually just deduct from flights and hotels that you're booking. In Amex's case, you have to select a particular airline, and then you get credits for any incidental fees, which usually include things like checked baggage fees, seat selection, seat upgrades, and premium Wi-Fi. Now, those are things that I normally wouldn't spend on anyways, but there are ways to use this credit for when you're making direct flight bookings. That's something that I have already been able to take advantage of, and if you're really curious about it, you can find topics about it online or even just DM me on Instagram. But because of that and the way it's been able to deduct from my normal traveling anyways, I also still see that it's just $200 of cash, again deducted from the annual fee. Now, you also get $240 per year in digital entertainment credit. You can only use these for select services such as SiriusXM, New York Times, Peacock, and Audible though. Now, I have started using it for Peacock just so I could watch The Office and Parks and Recreation and other shows with my family. But that definitely isn't a service that I normally would spend money on. Instead, I'll probably resubscribe to Audible, which is a service that I used to frequently use, but just haven't really been using much since the quarantine hit. But I do see myself going back to it over the next few months, which means I see this as an easy $15 per month credit, which adds up to $180 per year. Now, all the credits I'm going to talk about now are credits that are actually really useful for me, but aren't things that I normally would spend money on, which means I wouldn't actually feel that comfortable deducting them from the annual fee. The next couple credits that you get actually pertain to airport security, one of which is $180 in Clear credit per year. You can use this to get Clear membership for both you and another family friend. Now, if you're unfamiliar, Clear is actually a private service at airports where instead of standing in line to verify your identity through your driver's license or your passport, you can actually go through a separate lane and verify through biometrics such as a retina scan or fingerprints. Now, while I normally wouldn't spend money on this, it actually has been a really useful perk for me, as I've noticed sometimes that I've saved maybe 15 to 20 minutes by avoiding this really long line and going on this expedited Clear security pathway all the way straight to TSA. And you can make the experience even faster by taking advantage of the TSA PreCheck or Global Entry credit. TSA PreCheck is basically expedited security screening where you don't need to take off your shoes, large electronic items, and etc. as you're traveling through TSA. And Global Entry is a separate expedited service that helps you when you're coming back from international trips and have to go through immigration again. The interesting thing is that Global Entry actually comes with TSA PreCheck included, so I've ended up using the credit to sign up for Global Entry. Although it hasn't been something that I've taken advantage of yet and can speak to just because I still have yet to do a Global Entry interview before I can actually get access to that membership. But I have seen, especially from the lanes that integrate both Clear and TSA PreCheck, people tend to get through those security lanes really quickly. Now, you also get $50 worth of Saks Fifth Avenue credits per every 6 months. Now, considering the typical prices of goods at Saks Fifth Avenue, that really isn't a lot, but it's just enough to get some small items like beanies, socks, wallets, and maybe some small gifts that you want to give to family members or friends. So this is a credit that I have been able to use, but again, wouldn't be something that I normally spend money on. And the other credit that I've been making use of is the $200 hotel credit offered by Amex. Now again, Amex does not make this that easy to use because this $200 hotel credit only applies when you're booking hotels through the Fine Hotels Resorts or Global Collection program offered through Amex on their travel portal. Now, this program itself may require its own video to see how you can take advantage of it, and again, it's something that's specifically offered for the Amex Platinum ecosystem. But at this point in time as a student, I will say most of those hotels are a lot more expensive than ones that I would normally be booking. So I don't see this as just straight cash deduct for my annual fee. But I do get some value out of it since I can typically find cheap hotels that after the hotel credit actually ended up being around the same price as hotels that I was looking to book anyways. So for the same price, I ended up getting a much better hotel experience with its own suite of benefits such as 4 p.m. late checkout, free breakfast for me and one other person, and a $100 dining or spa credit. Now after this, there are some more benefits and perks that I just honestly straight up don't use. For example, you actually get $300 of Equinox credit that's given to you on a monthly basis. Now I don't go to Equinox and the prices of the gym membership is way too high for this credit to even make sense for me to use. It's just something that I don't even touch. With the card, you also have enough credits to get a free Walmart Plus membership, which isn't something that I haven't taken advantage of yet, but I have seen other people get value from by buying simple items that are normally more expensive on Amazon and utilizing that 2-day free shipping. Or the fact that Walmart Plus subscribers usually get early access to deals such as during Black Friday. So yeah, I have yet to get value out of this and I really don't expect to get value out of it, but maybe it's something that you can consider. On top of this, you also get concierge service through your Platinum card just by calling the number on the back of your card. This is not something that I've used, but I have actually seen a lot of videos online and people talking about it on forums where they've been able to use the service to get last minute bookings at restaurants or certain events like concerts that have completely sold out or overbooked, and have the concierge service just figure out a way for them to get access to those things. So yeah, we'll see if I'm able to take advantage of this, but it is just really cool to have access to that. And finally, you of course get a suite of premium insurance benefits just by making purchases on this card. For example, when you're booking flights, you get trip cancellation insurance and trip delayed insurance should your flight be delayed by 6 hours or more. Along with this, you also get probably the best purchase protection program that I've seen of any card, with Amex offering you a 90-day guaranteed return window on any purchase or item, along with 90-day insurance for items that are lost, stolen, or damaged. I have seen other people take advantage of this where they buy a brand new MacBook on this card and have it be stolen just a couple months later as they were traveling. But Amex ends up refunding them for their purchase entirely. For me, I know when I was traveling to Seattle, I left a recently bought iPad inside of a gig car after we ended the reservation, and it took more than a few hours to get online with gig support, figure out a way that we can track down that specific car to see if we can find the iPad. And while I did end up getting the iPad back, it gave me so much more peace of mind that I bought this iPad through my Amex Platinum, and I knew that if I had really lost it, that I could talk to their customer service and get the whole purchase refunded. This also leads to another point that in general, my experience with the Amex customer service has really been top tier compared to any other credit cards I've held. All my chats and conversations with them have been very, very nice and pleasant and have always been very positive in making sure that they're speedy and can get the information that I need. And they tend to be a lot less stringent when you need to end up using some of these insurance benefits on lost items or trip delays. So yeah, that's just one more reason that I really, really enjoy this card, is that I feel much more protected with this issuer when I'm making purchases on it compared to others. In fact, most other cards don't even have loss protection, which is a big deal in my opinion. So yeah, that's the top level breakdown of the Amex Platinum with all the perks and benefits and insurance protections and credits that you get just by holding the card. So for me, when I'm looking at it, you can see that I've broken down a lot of the benefits down to a pretty low annual fee. And at that point, I feel like I'm paying a pretty fair price to get all these other benefits that I do get value out of, such as Clear, TSA PreCheck, hotel credits, Saks Fifth Avenue credits, along with the purchase protections and the lounge access. Hey, I was just editing the video, and one thing I realized I neglected to mention was Amex Offers that Amex provides to each of their cards. Most credit cards have some kind of offer page where you can find some certain extra cash back in certain merchants, but they tend to be few and far between. With Amex, they tend to be a lot stronger, albeit there's still a lot of merchants that just don't really apply to everyone, but you can usually find at least a few offers that do actually apply to you, with extra points or cash back given back to you. Now, this isn't something unique to the Platinum card, so keep that in mind. You can get that with any Amex card, but it is something that I do get a lot of value out of. Like so far, I've gotten around, I think, $150 back so far just in these past 6 months, and then about to do some more through some Black Friday shopping that's going to get me more back with the extra cash back. And another offer that gets $100 back on a purchase. This is stuff that I was going to spend money on anyways, so really I'm just getting $250-ish during 6 months just given to me for free with these Amex offers. So that could be another way you could look at justifying the annual fee of this card. It is a little bit more variable though, so it's not something that I would really define as any sort of expectation, but nonetheless they have been pretty powerful for me, so I do expect to get pretty good value out of them in the future. So yeah, for me this is a big keeper card. But for you, I think you have to take a look at these credits and perks and benefits to help decide if you can justify the expected value of this card. An easy way you can do this is by going over to asksebi.com. He actually has a calculator where you can input your spending and how much you value the various credits that the Amex Platinum offers to see if it makes sense and outweighs the annual fee that you're paying for the card. And I will say for certain people, such as those in the military, Amex actually waives the annual fee entirely. So if all of these perks and benefits sound nice, just imagine having them completely for free. So I really see no reason not to get the card if you're in that type of position. But yeah, that's the Amex Platinum, a card that's completely changed the way that I travel and the way that I look at travel. And it's just something that I get so much value out of. So yeah, I hope you found this video really informational. I will say again, the Amex Platinum is just not for everyone, and it's very hard to sometimes justify the annual fee. But for me, it just makes a lot of sense and I get a lot of value out of it. So if you are considering the card, make sure to get a high sign-up offer, such as the one in my referral link below or by going incognito. Again, if the referral link is what you decide to go through, it really helps support the channel and my future travel. But again, leave a like down below if you really enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments if you have any more questions and whether the Amex Platinum makes sense for you to get. And of course, let me know what other kind of topics you want me to share, whether it's about credit cards, travel, etc. that you may be interested in the future. But with that being said, I will see you on the next video. Goodbye. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it is a metal card.